What up? We're here with the one and only EyeWill. All right, y'all heard this song. It was some gas. All right, we're talking about Premium 91 only. All right, now I'm going to let him introduce himself. So just please tell the audience, what is your artist name?
I go by EyeWill, a.k.a. Elephant Eardrum.
I love the AKA. And moving on to our next question, tell us, how did you come up with that name? EyeWill, AKA Elephant Eardrum.
Well, I'll start with Elephant Eardrum. Elephant Eardrum is about the sound that takes us back to our prehistory. The elephant is the most prehistoric animal that's living besides the dolphins and the whales and whatever sea creature we don't know of because there's so many leagues. I'm talking about the land. See, I'm an earth sign. I'm a Taurus. So I'm all about, the earth and what's on the land. And the elephant has the oldest DNA. So if I was to decolonize the world from ancient colonialism to even the neo-colonialism, this would be my way to decolonize the world, is to make the sound as prehistoric as possible to where it can tap into the DNA of anybody that's listening to it. So when you're listening to my sound, something's happening to your DNA. You're awakening your ancestors through Elephant Eardrum.
Yo, that is deep, and I can really hear how it reflects in your music. You're talking about the one, blessings, psychedelics, sacrament, just a lot of spiritual topics, and with EyeWill and Elephant Eardrum, do you feel like it reflects, the substance you're giving, but do you also think, does it reflect the sound? Like, I notice you like to use certain drums that sound ancestral too.
Definitely. So I like to dig into the classical sounds of Indian music and Pakistani music, which is a lot of raga, a lot of sitars, classical tablas, qawwali music, bhangra, classical Bollywood, you know what I'm saying? I mess with it. My parents used to listen to a lot and watch the movies. So I like to really dig into the culture of India and Pakistan and Bangladesh, and shout out to Sri Lanka and the rest of South Asia and Southeast Asia. But you know what I'm saying? Going back to EyeWill, EyeWill is the two words for the Leo, and my moon sign is Leo. So I go for more of the eye, as in the third eye, to decalcify your third eye, to activate your third eye, and which is the third eye is your gland that helps you dream and gets you into your creative mode. And, alongside with psychedelics and DMT and mushrooms, I mean, we can get into that later. This is the Church of Truth and Cannabis.
Yeah, my bad. Just, because the Fives have been watching our Instagram, and I know you filthy pigs are watching right now. The church does not endorse psychedelics. All right, so don't go to the government, don't go to the judge and be like, oh my God, the church do this, they slang it. We don't, we acknowledge that psychedelics exist, but the church doesn't endorse it themselves, But just want to go on that because you filthy pigs been watching lately.
Yes, and that's for the record. For the record, this is my music that we're talking about, psychedelics, not the church. Thank you. Yeah. This is a cannabis place, Sacrament. So, bottom line, my music, I like to dig into the spirit. It's all about activating the spirit. It's about activating our soul, our consciousness, and love. Because when you hear EyeWill's music, you hear songs about life and about love. Life has its ups and downs, and love always remains.
That's deep. Yo, that's mad deep. As a friend and someone that's interviewing you, I was just thinking, your music is extremely spiritual, and it's amazing music. And if I didn't know you personally, I wouldn't know that you also have a humorous side to you. And I think that's really cool that you can be serious, but you also can have a good time. You know what I mean? And I think I don't know if of course you're active. Would you be interested in sharing that joke that you shared with us earlier? Or you want to leave that out?
That's cool. We can leave it out.
Okay. All right.
And just because I'm still developing my comedian side.
Okay.
And I was
Okay. All right. Well, that'll come another time. We got a Danny Glover. You know, he writes music, but he also writes stories and jokes. But we'll get to that another time. Okay. Dope. Now, tell us, what is that song that you sang recently, or it was called "Know Thyself"? What is that? What does that song mean to you?
So to me, when I was putting that beat together, as you can hear, it has a very upbeat raga type of Indian Hindu sound. And when I hear that, I feel like I'm awakening my ancestors in my blood. So then when I'm rapping about eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we'll see the ancestors. You know, what a grand lesson, too blessed to be stressed, for the ego can't test it. Fill up my cup, let it open thy senses. I'm sipping on tea. Whee! You know what I'm saying? Because my peoples were sipping on tea. I want to feel like how, you know, my great ancestors were feeling, but in the hip-hop form. And that's what it is. You know, when you're listening to my music, you're awakening your ancestors and in the hip-hop form. So Know Thyself, when I'm getting down on that song, I'm really just feeling like an ancient Indian man in India sitting Buddhist position, you know, and rapping straight to the gods, chanting to the gods, you know what I'm saying? No Afro, more maybe indie. You know what I'm saying, my indie? My music doesn't really go on an African vibe. I like to go more on the Indian vibe and the Hindu vibe. No offense to my black brothers, my African brothers, but this is more for my black Indian brothers, you know, and my black Indian sisters. You know what I'm saying? Respect.
All right. You know, all love, always respect. Lastly, tell us, how can people hear your music? Where can they reach you? Do you have a Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music? And talk to us also about your future projects.
You can find my music on SoundCloud. Self-Taught is one of my first mixtapes I've produced. I produced about 13 out of 15 tracks. I'm rapping and singing on that. You can go on SoundCloud and type in EyeWill, that's EyeWill, and then Self-Taught is the name of the album. And you'll find me, Garden Grove, California.
You know the vibe. EyeWill, the GOAT, performing this April 20th on 420. Pull up. It's going to be a vibe.
Namaste.
Respect. See you 420.